the other thing we know about this population, and it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions. She wasn't wrong. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Viewing this in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children. I think everyone here recognizes how extraordinary space is. I'm California Senator Kamala Harris, and I am pleased to announce that I am running for the first ever Senate seat of Wakanda. Now that this beautiful nation has decided to embrace the world by coming out of its self-imposed seclusion, it would be my honor to represent the people of Wakanda.
Poor hubby.
Whether it is satellites that orbit the Earth, humans that land on the moon, or telescopes that peer into the furthest reaches of the universe. Space is exciting. It spurs our imaginations, and it forces us to ask big questions.
When it's time to battle, I have no problem doing my fair share and grabbing a spear. Don't let this outfit fool you.
The way they address people, it is bizarre. It's weird. It is weird.
We talk about it. That stuff is weird. They come across weird. They seem obsessed with this. A super weird idea from JD.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite weird.
And now we have Swifties for Kamala, and yes, get ready to cringe.
Players gonna play. Haters gonna hate. Baby, I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off.
Oh dear.
They're just weird or weird.
This is plain weird.
The environment is vital. Killmonger may have ruined and burned your field of heart-shaped herbs, but don't worry. I'm from California. I can repopulate that field with a bunch of different herbs. To the lovely people of Wakanda, I know you will make the right choice. And as always, Wakanda forever. Paid for by Kamala Harris.
President Biden always said that he wants you to be the last person in the room, particularly for big decisions, just as he was for President Obama. He just made a really big decision, Afghanistan.
Yes.
Were you the last person in the room?
Yes.
And you feel comfortable?
I do.
What going back to report of Americans?
Hold on, everybody. I want to talk about
two things. First, Afghanistan.
That's going on right now in the Ukraine. Break it down in layman's terms for people who don't understand what's going on and how can this directly affect the people of the United States.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
And I'm wondering what the United States is going to do more specifically to set up a permanent infrastructure. And relatedly, is the United States willing to make a specific allocation for Ukrainian refugees? And for President Duda, I wanted to know if you think, and if you asked the United States to specifically accept more refugees.
Okay. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, so.
And we have got to get a deal done. We were in Doha. We have to get a deal done. This war must end, and we must get a deal that is about getting the hostages out. I've met with the families of the American hostages. Let's get the hostages out. Let's get the ceasefire done.
But no change in policy in terms of arms and so forth.
No, we have to get a deal done. Dana, we have to get a deal done. When you look at the significance of this to the families, to the people who are living in that region.
Let me ask you in a more complicated way. I think there's a lot of people would say she can't say anything else. She couldn't tell if there was a problem.
I'm not lying.
If there was,
I'm telling you a fact.
Let me just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned...
Vice President Harris was not a border czar. Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
How should voters look at some of the changes that you've made? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed.
Look, I'm not the Vice President of the United States, and I do think that when you are representing the whole country, you have a different perspective. Her values, though, have remained consistent.
I think the Vice President is consistent on the position on fracking. It's exactly how Joe Biden ran. Is she as progressive as me or Bernie Sanders or others? No, but she is moving in a progressive direction.
Well, look, I think it's a sign of a good leader that they learn and evolve over time. What she acknowledges is what most Americans acknowledge, is that there's not a one...
Are they voting affirmatively for you in that role, or are they voting for something different?
Oh, they're voting for so much when they vote for president. They're voting for what are the accomplishments when you're talking about a re-election.
But if there ever is a problem, do you think that you could go tell the American public? Do you think in your role that you're in a position to do that?
If necessary, but there's no need for that. I want to get to the heart of what I think you're raising, which you've said is his age. So let's talk about that. I spend a lot of time with Joe Biden, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. And I can tell you, this is someone who is tireless in terms of working on behalf of the American people.